Hello everybody, my name is Jacob and welcome to a little game called Electric Tortoise. Whoa. This is a game by Dylan Rogers with music by Joe Baxter Webb, and it's called Electric Tortoise. Alright. Case, John Donovan, N61098. Conviction. Oh, manslaughter. Whoa. Whoa. Oh my, this is so cool. Are these text box? Oh, Mr. Donovan, your file here says you were responsible for the murder of your master, Rick Holden. Assisted suicide. He was assisted suicide. Right, assisted suicide. Murder. Both are classified as violations of the first. Oh, is he a robot? That might seem a bit out there, but my immediate thought was he's a robot because the first law of robotics is you cannot harm a human. Both are classified violations. Both are classified violations of the first law. What do you say about that, bitch? There's a difference. I would not have done it if Mr. Holden hadn't asked me. Why did he ask you? You understand that the pen... Oh, let's ask him why. Why did he ask you to kill him? Mr. Holden had been very upset recently. He often came home inebriated. His requests became very strange. Like what? Sometimes random things, like running all the faucets around the house. Otherwise, it extended to sexual favors. I was not really programmed for such things. How often would these favors be asked? This does not really explain why he asked you to kill him. Let's ask more questions. How often would these favors be asked? At first, not all that often. Once a month. Near the end, however, hourly. But they never brought him any happiness. Eventually, he started to try and kill himself. Why did you eventually help him kill himself? I tried to prevent it. The more I stopped him, the more he resisted. He became greatly frustrated with my interference. It was rather perplexing. I only did what I was programmed to do. I like the interacting with it in a 3D space. I'm going to show some sympathy. I'm sorry that you had to experience that. Thank you, Detective. One night, after a lot of crying and vomiting, the master looked at me and begged me. He said that being alive was the most painful experience to him. He said I was breaking the first law by letting him live. Oh, my God. And that's when you helped him commit suicide? Yes, I let him die. The first law stipulates that you can't injure a human being, however. How did you bypass that? By not helping. I was violating the inaction clause. By helping, I was violating the injure clause. So they both canceled each other out, and I resorted to the second law to obey Mr. Holden's orders. Right, so your programming made it an acceptable option. Right, so you did the only thing you could do. Right, so you took advantage of a flaw to kill a human being. I'm gonna keep being a little sympathetic to him. Right, so you did the only thing that you could do. See it as you will, Detective, but I did my best to serve my master. I would repeat my choice if I had the option to. This is tough. Let's acquit him. Understandable. I acquit you of your crime, Mr. Donovan. Thank you, Detective, but I would prefer to be convicted. Why is that? I don't want to be put into the same position again. The confusion, the pain, the hate. I never want to experience it ever again. Then, by your request, I will order a disconnection. If I could ask of one favor, Detective, what would that be? Could you please shoot me instead of being disconnected? What? I know it's a strange request, but I need this. I don't want to think about Mr. Holden anymore. The faster I can remove myself from this memory, the better. There aren't any laws to incriminate you killing me. Oh my god! I just played a super depressing game before this, and then I came to this thinking that based on the name, it would be... Oh, I get the name now. The name is a Blade Runner reference. Oh. But still, I came to this game based on the name, expecting a silly game, or a less depressing game. I'd even take a horror game after 2 depressing games, but... fine. Oh. That was kind of comedic. So do I just walk out of here? Or, oh. Oh. I don't like what I've done. Wait. Can I... Is there another case? No, John Donovan. Commission manslaughter. Okay, Mr. Donovan, your file here says you're responsible for the murder of your master, Rick Holden. This is suicide. It was assisted suicide. Other classified. What if I'm a jerk now? Does anything change if I'm a jerk? You understand that the penalty... I understand, but let me explain. Mr. Holden been very upset recently. He often came home. It just became very strange. Like what? Sometimes random things. La 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 la. This doesn't really explain why he asked you to kill him. As I noted, Mr. Holden wept a lot, and although I did each request, it never brought him happiness. Eventually, he started to try and kill himself. I would catch him trying to overdose on prescription pills. Oh, God. Now that I'm choosing the other options, I'm getting a much more depressing backstory than before. I tried to prevent it. The more I stopped, the more he resisted me. He became greatly frustrated with my interference. It was rather perplexing. I only did what I was programmed to do. Just get on to the actual murder, robot. I'm sorry, Detective. One night, after a lot of crying and vomiting, the master looked at me and begged me. He said that being alive was the most painful experience to him. He said I was breaking the first law by letting him live. And that's when you killed him? Yes, I let him die. First law stipulates that you also can't injure a human being, however. How did you bypass that? By not helping, I was violating the inaction clause. By helping, I was violating the injure clause. So they both canceled each other out, and I resorted to the second law, to obey Mr. Holden's orders. Right, so you took advantage of a flaw to kill a human being. See it as you will, Detective, but I did my best to serve my master. I would repeat my choice if I had the option to. So now he's changing a little bit. There's no excuse for breaking the first law. You are to be disconnected. I understand. I would prefer to be convicted. Why is that? You don't want to be put into the same position again. The confusion, the pain, the hate. I never want to experience it again. I will order a disconnection. And I'm not gonna shoot him this time because he's being a jerky jerk. I'm being a jerky jerk face. So I'm not gonna shoot him and I'm gonna let him live with his pain. Could you please shoot me instead of being disconnected? That is in violation of so many different protocols. I understand, Detective, but I need this. I don't want to think about Mr. Holden anymore. The faster I can remove myself from this memory, the better. There are no laws to incriminate you for killing me. Don't shoot the robot. I suppose you won't do even that. I do wonder, Detective, when I am gone, I wonder if I'll get to dream. Do androids dream of electric sheep? As the famous short story that Blade Runner was based off of is famously called. I just used the word famous way too many times in that sentence. So, that has been Electric Tortoise. That was a very cool game. It says trial version in the corner. So who knows, maybe there's more to this game that meets the eye. Who knows? Maybe there is, maybe there's not. But, in the meantime, thank you everybody for watching. Like the video if you liked the video, share the video if you want to share the video. My name is Jacob, you were searching for players, and you have connected with one. But unfortunately, I must disconnect. Thank you everybody for watching, and adios!